Hi, my name is Teacher Caroline, and this is Quick Tips for VIPKID. Today I'm going to share with you how to pass Step 3 of the interview process for VIPKID, the mock class. This video will focus on mock class option A. This will be a longer video because I have so much to share with you, so please check the comments section where I'll timestamp different parts of the video so you can go to them a little bit faster. I encourage you to follow me on Instagram where I'm sharing lots of quick tips for teaching, teacher_Caroline. Let's talk about the referral program for VIPKID. How it works is if you have a friend or family member or someone on YouTube or Instagram that has helped you along the way, you can use them as your referrer. That means VIPKID will pay them $100 for recruiting you. This can be a little off-putting to people because they feel like it's sort of a pyramid scheme. I promise it's not. VIPKID is a wonderful job, and the only regret I have is that I didn't start it sooner. I might be the only person out there saying this, but you don't have to have a referring teacher. I didn't. I did not know a single soul who taught for VIPKID when I applied. All I did was search YouTube videos to try to mimic the style that I was seeing. There's enough free material out there that you really don't have to have a referring teacher and you can still be successful. But don't just watch my video. Watch as many different teachers teaching this mock class A as you possibly can so that you have a wide array of potential styles. Find someone who you jive with, who you feel you can trust, and listen to their advice on YouTube. It really can go a long way. If you'd like to reach out for any questions, my email address is teachercarolinewise@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to answer questions for you. One of the big questions that people ask is, what do I need? I'm always hesitant to answer this question because I don't want to turn people off from applying because they feel like they need this fully fledged classroom that someone like me who's been teaching for a few years has been able to accumulate. But I also don't want to shy away from the truth, which is that you need a few things if you want to be successful. The products that I mentioned are linked below in the description. The first thing that you need is either a headset with a microphone, or you can use earbuds that have the microphone built into the wire. You need to wear sort of a plain color or a bright color, something that is flattering on your face and that's going to look good on camera. You can wear orange because that is the VIPKID color, but you don't have to. You do need an educational background. My background is this. I teach facing this way. Maybe you have some shelves and you put some educational looking items on the shelves. Maybe a big stuffed animal or an apple or a plant. Just anything that looks nice and like a classroom is great. Clutter is bad. If you happen to have access to classroom posters, certainly put a couple of those up. But if you don't be discouraged. Just keep it clear, bright, and simple behind you. You can get things like this at the dollar spot at Target or at a dollar store, and those can be great to liven up your background as well. Okay, next, I can't stress this enough, lighting. You have to have bright yet soft lights shining directly on your face. Don't be intimidated by all the fancy lighting that you see other people use. All you need are lamps that shine behind your camera directly on your face. Avoid harsh or really any overhead light that casts shadows on your face. Use a window or lamps with a shade on your face. This can be a make it or break it for you because the student needs to be able to see you, and VIPKID wants to keep a professional brand, and I don't blame them. So make sure that you have that light shining directly on your face. And finally, you need at least 2 props for your lesson. I would suggest you have 3 just to be safe. For this lesson, you need a ball of any kind. You also might want to have a whiteboard or the back of a binder that you can write on, or even just a piece of paper that we'll use for the IP sound. And finally, I would suggest you have a Kleenex, and I'll tell you why later. Next, let's talk about the online ESL instruction style. I really think it's more than just a style. VIPKID wants to make sure that you can do the baseline ESL instructional techniques. They are so important. Things like speaking slowly, using total physical response, hand movements to describe what you're talking about, giving wait time for the student, and correcting the student. You want to make sure to really practice that style. Let's talk about what exactly you'll be doing. You'll go into a class and there will be an adult who is a current VIPKID teacher. He or she will be pretending to be from 5 to 7 years old. You'll have 10 minutes to teach the class. First, you'll converse with the teacher a little bit, and then you'll begin your lesson. The teacher will tell you whether or not you should do lesson A or B. Occasionally, they'll let you choose, but be prepared for both. The mentors are great. I learned things from my mentor in just those few minutes that I still use today. They're high-quality teachers teachers and they want you to succeed. My understanding is that the timer will start as soon as you start that casual conversation with your mentor, and then it will just keep going up and up and up once you start your lesson. So you may want to consider having your phone or a timer on your computer that you can start as soon as your lesson starts to keep track of that time, because timing is really important in VIPKID. You want to spend about 1 minute per slide if you can. If you are allowed in a practice room, do it. Get familiar with all the buttons. Just click them and see where everything is. In the bottom left-hand corner, you can see which slide number you're on. There's also a gift symbol that allows you to go back and forth to the reward slide. Get familiar with the pen and how to write. Put the image of your mentor right under your camera so that you can make eye contact with him or her more easily through the camera. Get familiar with your space, because that's really uncomfortable if you're not used to it. Now I'm going to talk about the 10 must-dos. Well, try really hard to do. A lot of these things are what the mentor is going to be looking for in you to check off on their rubric. Do you have to get all of them exactly perfectly? No, but that's what you're striving for. Let's get through the 10 must-dos. First, they're looking for the I do, we do, you do pattern. This means that you show the student how to do something first, or you say it first. Then you guide the student to do it with you. And finally, you have the student do it on his or her own. We'll talk more about that as I move through the lesson. Second, you want to make sure your student is speaking in full sentences. Even when you're just asking for their name, you would like them to respond with, "My name is Judy." Sometimes I think people confuse ESL instruction with sort of baby talk. It's not baby talk. It's not, "My name, Caroline." You still want to use full grammatically correct sentences. The next thing you really want to do is make it clear when you are the one speaking and when the student is the one speaking. You'll see this a lot in all the YouTube videos, but another way to do it can be with a microphone. "How are you?" Either way is fine. The next one is another big news flash. No incidental language. What that means is you don't want to fill in the silent space with talking. Things like, "You did a good job on that, now let's move to the next slide." Or, "You almost got that, you just left out the..." Minimal language. That's really hard because you're so nervous and you want the other person to feel comfortable, and silence feels a little deafening sometimes. Let there be silence. And use just as few words as you possibly can. That takes practice prior to actually being in front of your mock mentor. Your student does not speak very much English, so any kind of incidental language will just sound like to them. Number 5 is to fix any errors that your mock mentor gives you. Don't just say, "Good job, good job, good job," and move on if the student did not do it exactly how they were supposed to do it. There are a few errors that they may do to try to trip you up. One of them is to leave out articles. A or the. One of them is to conjugate verbs incorrectly. She, throw, ball. If a student has an error, you can do something like, close, and then tell them the right way to do it. Or you don't have to say anything at all. You can just correct them and have them repeat the error. Another common error is just to mispronounce something. So don't think you're being nice by not correcting them. They want to be corrected. The 6th thing that they'll be looking for is for you to repeat any new language 2 times in what's called a ping pong style. So you'll say ball, 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 ball. Also for ip and also for throw. The 7th thing that they'll be looking for is that TPR I discussed earlier, total physical response, both educational and instructional. Educational might be something like throw, where you're learning a new word. Instructional might be something like drag and drop on the screen. Number 8 is props. They'll be looking for 2 props at least. I suggest 3 just to be safe. Number 9 will be rewards and praise. So you want to make sure to give lots of good praise and a special reward throughout class. You're welcome to use the reward provided by VIPKID in the slide. Just make sure you're not clicking back and forth to the reward and to the slide you're on and wasting time. There is a shortcut button. It looks like a present, and you can click that to go right back to the reward. However, I would suggest that you use your own supplementary reward, because that can show your personality and the effort that you put into the lesson. When I was applying for VIPKID, I used this as my supplementary reward, and the bee went buzz and attached. I did invest in this. I got it at an educational store, but to me, I consider it an investment in a future job, just like you might buy a suit for a job interview of some other kind. There are plenty of free rewards that you can do, things that you can draw, little things you can cut out from paper. Really, you can present anything. As long as you have enthusiasm and excitement for it, the student will too. And number 10 is another big newsflash. You want to have student output on every single slide. The goal of online language learning is for the child to learn to speak, not for you to be a really fun TV show to watch. So you want to make sure that the child is speaking on every single slide. And then the little bonus, it's not a must do, but it's kind of a number 11, is to smile as much as you can. That's the universal language to say, I'm friendly, this is a comfortable situation. Next, I'd like to orient you to the codes in the top right corner of your slides. The I, P, A, and E stand for Introduce, Practice, Apply, and Extend. Earlier, I talked about the I do, we do, you do method. These kind of coordinate with that. So I is introduce, or I do something. Don't expect the child to be able to do it on the introduce slide. Next is practice. We do it together. Maybe I do one and you do the next one. If your mock mentor is acting like quite a young child, you might wind up doing more here. Or if they're acting like a farther along child, then you might do less in the practice. You kind of just have to gauge the moment. Apply is when we really want the child to do it on their own as much as possible, but we never leave them floundering. If they really can't, we're always there to step in. And finally, extend is where your mock mentor will want to see that you can move beyond the slides a little bit. I'll show you how to do that when I go through the lesson. All right, the moment is finally here. It's time to go slide by slide through the mock Class A option. Let's get started. The first slide that you'll speak on is the one that says My Friends and I, My Toys. I'm going to use a few visual aids. If you feel like you're fumbling trying to use something similar, then don't. Keep it simple, but this is what I'm used to, so this is what I'll do. But if one or more of these types of visuals work for you, go ahead and use them. Slide 1. Hello, my name is Teacher Caroline. What's your name? She said, Judy. Good. My name is Judy. Good job, Judy. Good job. Judy, how are you? She said, fine. Good. I'm fine. Good, good. Are you ready? Yes. Yes, I'm ready. And we move on. All right, the next slide is the optional reward that VIPKID provides for you. If you want to, throughout the lesson, you can go back to this and let the student pick a toy to put in their basket. If you don't want to use this, then you'll simply use it as a slide to make sure that the student is comfortable dragging and dropping an item on the screen. Because I suggest a supplementary reward to show your personality, I would suggest just using this as a drag-drop opportunity. So here's how it might look. Slide 2. Judy, when you do a good job, you get a bzzz, B. Judy, drag and drop. And I'm using my mouse to choose a toy and put it in the basket. If she's not doing it with this motion as a guide, then you can pick up your mouse and show her drag and drop. Or you can pick up your phone and show her drag and drop because she may be on a desktop or an iPad. I have to mention another great reward that's simple and clear, and that's to add a little sticker or maybe you draw something next to their name so they get rewards throughout class that way. That's another good one if you don't have a ton of materials lying around. Once we've introduced our reward system and we've made sure that Judy knows how to drag and drop, we move on. Slide 3. I circle the word ball. Ball. Good. Ball. Yes. I underline the sentence. She plays with a ball. Good. Maybe she said she plays with ball. She plays with a ball. Good job, good job. As this symbol in the top right corner shows, I need to get the student to circle the ball. If she's struggling, I can use TPR or circle a ball on a whiteboard to show her. And that's it. So be sure to correct any mistakes that they may make, and this is where you want to make sure that they're doing the ping pong style repeating of the word ball twice before you attempt the sentence. Another option to make that back and forth more interesting is to do it slowly, ball, and fast, ball, or to do ball, ball. You can do different things to make it fun. Slide 4. I circle the boy. What does he play with? And I circle the empty blank. And she says ball. Good, but I want the full sentence. He plays with a ball. Good job, good job. I circle the girl. What does she play with? She plays ball. She plays with a ball. Good job, good job. It's a little bit easy to go long on that slide, so keep an eye on your timing and try to move things along. You can also use boy and girl props that you've printed out or drawn and have the ball belong to them. Slide 5. I circle the first boy. What does he play with? And I can drag and drop the kite and then put it back, and the ball and put it back to show the student that there's a choice. And they put the ball. Yes, good. He plays with a ball. Good. I circled the second one. What does he play with? And I circle the empty kite space, and hopefully they drag it. Good. And maybe I try to see if they will do it first. Yes. He plays with a kite. Good. And then I circle the third one. What does he play with? Yes, very good. Good job, Judy. You get a B. Bzzz. Good job, good job. Now we're ready for slide 6. This is when we want to do the ping pong method again, where we make sure that the student repeats the word throw 2 times at least before we move on to the sentences. This is also a great time to use a visual aid like this to show them to add that S onto throws, because chances are your mock mentor will leave that off and you want to catch it and have a visual to help. It's also a great time to have a Kleenex, and you'll see why. Slide 6. Circle the word throw. Throw. Good. Throw. Good. Throw. Yes. I circle the girl. She throws. Uh-oh, they said she throw. She throws. Good. Second picture. They throw. Good job. Click to the next slide. All right, we're ready for slide 7. This is a practice slide, a we do slide, where we're going to work together to do it. A couple of tips for this slide if you need them. One is to use a puppet or your hand as a puppet if the student's having a hard time with the question answer format. Sometimes they'll just repeat your question rather than answer it. So you can do something like, who throws? He throws. Or who throws? He throws. Who throws? That way the student can get the vibe of question and answer. Another thing that you can do is answer incorrectly. You can circle the one that's not throwing and say, who throws? Like it's funny that he's obviously not throwing, so they can correct you and circle the correct picture. Slide 7. Who throws? I underline, he throws. Good job. Good job, Judy. I circle the wrong picture. He throws? No, I cross it out. Who throws? She circles it. Good job. Good job, Judy. Good job. You get a bzzz, B. Good job. Good job. Click to the next slide. All right, slide number 8. This is the A, apply slide, we want the student to do it on their own. You might want to use this as a visual aid if they need it and take it away if they're doing really well. Also use the phrase drag and drop if they're struggling with that. You can do one for them if they're having a hard time, but let them do it if they're able to. A phrase that you can use to encourage them to read is either read please or can you read? Or you can use TPR for read. Let's get started. Slide 8. Circle the first picture. Who throws? Maybe they say he throws. She throws. Or maybe I have a visual. She throws. Good job. Second picture. Who throws? Good job. Circle the third one. Who throws? Good job. Good job, Judy. You get a bzz, B. Good job. Good job. You want to strive for maybe 2 to 3, maybe 4 or 5 rewards, depending on your style. 2 rewards is a little low. 5 rewards will probably bog down your timing, so just try a few things. Since there are sort of 3 sections, it might be natural to do a reward after each section if you can remember. No worries if you can't, just make sure you get a couple of them in. All right, now we're ready for slide 9, the phonics section. We want to make sure to do ping pong for ip 2 times before we start to blend. There are lots of different methods for blending. I'm sure you can find plenty of them on YouTube. This is what I'm going to use because I like it and I happen to have magnetic letters. Many of our students are very familiar with blending and your mock mentor might know that and go really quickly through it. So be prepared that this might move along and you don't need to belabor it if they already know how to do it. They might speed ahead of you and that's okay. Something else you can do instead of letters is to use hands. Z, ip, z, ip, z, ip, zip. Or a faster version, z, ip, zip. Whatever you feel like your student needs. I'm going to mostly use this for this particular example, but you can also draw, do hands, or do other methods that you may see online. Let's get started. Slide 9. Ip. Ip. Ip, ip, ip. Good. Z, z, ip. Zip. Good. Ip. Rip. Yes. Ip. Sip. Good. Good job, Judy. Ip. Hip. Yes, good job. Good job, Judy. Good. I failed to notice that this is a circle slide as well, so be sure to have the student circle the word after they pronounce it. Sorry. If your student is really advanced and they zip through that very quickly, you can also even try a digraph like sh, ip, ship. Only if your student feels very much ready for it. Okay, slide 10. This is an extension slide. We want to make sure that we're covering something we talked about in class, but also pushing a little bit and asking a different type of question. Questions that might be appropriate for this level of student are how many questions? How many people are there? How many kids are there? You can also ask a color question. What color is her shirt? You can also relate it to your student. Do you play with a ball? Just making sure they answer yes or no questions with a full sentence. Yes, I do, or I play with a ball. That sort of thing. Slide 10. Maybe I circle the woman. What does she play with? With a ball. Good job, good job. Judy, what do you do with a ball? Good. I throw a ball. Good job. Good job. Maybe I circle the woman's skirt. Judy, what color is it? Good, good. Next slide. Slide 11 is the last slide. Chances are you're at the very end of your time and you just have time to say, goodbye, Judy. Goodbye. Maybe you have time to give one more reward. Maybe you have time to count your rewards if you need more to do, but probably you're just saying thank you and goodbye. Slide 11. Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye. And that's it. I hope that gives you an idea of how to nail the Mock A class. I know you'll do great. Please keep in mind, if you do not pass the first time, no worries. It just means that you get to practice a little bit more before you're in front of a student. And trust me, that's a great thing, because being in front of a student is a little nerve-wracking the first time. And the more practice you can get with somebody who has your best interests at heart and wants you to do really well, the better. So take that feedback and hold on to it. Like I said, I still consider the feedback from my mock mentor to be important to me a couple of years into teaching. So just take that feedback and be so happy that you have it, because it's really great to have an outside person see you teaching and give you that feedback. If you'd like any clarification, or you've noticed a change in VIPKID that you'd like to mention in the comments below, please do so and read the comments, because sometimes things change quickly in this company as they're always adjusting and trying to best meet the needs of their teachers and their students. So check the comments to see if anything that I mentioned may have changed over time. Thank you so much for watching and taking the time to watch this long video about how to pass the Mock A class for VIPKID. I really appreciate you liking this video if you learned anything from it, and subscribe, because after you get hired, you'll want to see all the great tips and tricks that I share on this channel to help us all be the best teachers that we can be. I'll see you next time, and happy teaching. Goodbye.